So as I mentioned, there is no additional or any special things to learn here in this tutorial session. You already done these things by using variables and from the terminal and through your code. So here, what you are going to learn about, what additional thing is passing those arguments, let's say value or any particular string or sentence or something uh, from the uh, files uh, files in the operating system. So they can be text files, binary files, any kind of files. So actually, what is the major difference of those two? Means using terminal or by using files. Anyone? What will be the reason that we need to use this file handling? ඒ කියන්නේ ඇයි අපි මේ ෆයිල් හැන්ඩලින් කරන්නේ? ඒ කියන්නේ අපිට already මේ දේවල් ටර්මිනල් එකේනුයි කෝඩ් එකෙන් අපිට කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඇයි ෆයිල් හැන්ඩලින් ඕනේ කරන්නේ? Right. So here, what we need to know about what is a file. So mentioned here, file is a container storage device used for storing data. Right. So it is some kind of a thing that can have several data, numerical data, words, anything. Even we can store machine learning for file that is a machine learning. Right. So that was considered but even a bio at least once in years. Right. Maybe some kind of this files can be added, right? But I'm asking why we those files from the Zoom. I අපිට file handling කරන්න ඕන. Right. So here some of things are highlighted. So one thing is storing file in a file will preserve your data. So large, there can be large number of data and can easily access the content of the file using few commands in C. So let's talk about the C. So the actual requirement is when you are working with the terminal and those your command. So you want to include the information for a particular file. Let's say the file contains a database of 1,000 records. So then what will happen? Can it be this total thing. So they are considered there as a database. There can be large number of data are there. Let's say 1,000 number of rows are there. Right? As number of data. This amount of database, right? So what will happen? So there can be 1,000 lines of data inside our code. Then we can't actually manage our code, right? We can't see what is actually there. And the other thing, you need pass to the terminal. Then also that same thing happens. That means we are unable to handle those every day. But with the using file handling, we roll 1,000 rows and replace it for a single line. Right? So that is the reason. So in file handling, we can manage easily such kind of data. So that is the one way. So there is a So that means through your code, let's say you generate data, new code, let's say you do some calculations or by taking some kind of insight. So anyway, you are generating values and what you can do, save those generated values to a particular file. Then what is the benefit? The benefit is even the code is stopped, we can use that file and see what is the latest about, and you can see the actual data even after the code execution. Right? You can code data utilize not of state data access current to those are the major benefits. So for current state, you have used the main memory and those registers to do your tasks, right? So through file handling, you can access secondary storage as well. So as mentioned here, there are 4 different file types. So data files, text files, program files. That means this code and derivatives. What are derivatives? In Windows, what we call derivatives. Folders, right? So it is the hierarchy. So different, as mentioned here, different types of files. So different type of information. So as mentioned, previous slide. So there are different type of files, data files, text files. Those contain those sentences and all. Program files, as I mentioned, the codes. They can be for several languages, Python, C, C++, anything. So through a file handling, you need to know about these things. That means beginning of the file and end of the file, right? So you already done several tasks in file handling, you may get a error zero. That means end of the file, right? So let's say you are going to process the file after the end of the file also. So then there is that error. So that means you need to know about this beginning and end of the file as well. And when you are reading, you need to know what is the position, current position of the file that you are currently reading and even writing as well. Right? So that is some kind of a pointer. That means you are accessing that particular file, and in there you need to be aware what is the current position that you are will operate. So those operations are basically reading and writing. So initially, what you need to do is you need to mark the beginning. So this is the place where you are going to start, and from there you can pass the marker and see what is the current position. As mentioned here, can put the marker into any other position in the file. So these are the main files. That means when you are dealing with, you need to be aware of these ones. So as I mentioned, there were 4 different types. But however, if you take a single file, they can be text files or in a binary files. So that means that particular file is in text format. There is a separate way to access to that particular file. So if it is in binary file, let's say the same text file encoded with some say UTF or something, and is in now currently in binary format, then you need to have a separate way. So in our right, yeah, we have. So I will explain now them. So before that, first you need to know this one, the text file. So it is the actually the normal way of storing a file. So you can easily create a file using the notepad, and we'll call that content is in plain text. And as mentioned here, you will take a minimum effort to make it. That means you take a particular notepad and you very let's say initially some relevant sentences for let's say you are writing an essay or something, right? So it's easy to read, right? So text files are easy to read and maintain also easy, but this one is secure. That means if anyone can open the file, the file, then everyone can see what is the content is about. And takes a bigger storage space. So what that means is, if the file is in text, so you need to store as text file. So in history, so maybe in some time before we have used as to store those plain text. So after that, it's possible is in the constant we are using before. So those are some encoding methods. So for those encoding methods, so you need to store a particular, let's say, a particular character. So it called some piece size, right? But you can convert into as a this binary version. So it will take very less storage. So as mentioned here, so binary files have the extension .b, right? So in there, you are going to store zeros and ones, right? So in that case, you can easily store large number of data in the binary file, and they are not easy to read, right? To see a particular text with only zeros and ones, you never know what is those text is about. So there should be some decrypting algorithm, right? So in that case, it provides a better speed. Right. So these are some general information about files, and right. So now you need to know about in C how to create such files, both text and binary files, and how to open already existing file, and after open, right? Open means you are going to load that whole information to memory. So you can do in several ways as, but up to now you can up to now, yeah, you can know about you are loading the whole thing into the memory. So in that case, the memory contains the whole information of our file. So after the executing the program, you close the program execution is ended, then have to close the particular file. So it is going to store in the memory as to garbage right? So it is will take some of your memory. So in that case, you must as a best practice also you need to close that particular file when the program is at the end of the execution, right? So the final, so as I mentioned, you need to create a particular file and open a CSE file and closing the file, and what you need to do is the reading and writing operation, right? So you take the existing file, there are several things that means you can overwrite and read, write the information, and or what you can do, you can add those information without overwriting the same file, right? So opening an existing file and do those operations, so there are several and the part very good. And write something for the file, then it is can be done easy. That means you don't need to explore all those tasks. Right. So now you are going to learn about how to deal with the file. So as I mentioned, the file is will load the memory. So in there will be some memory addresses you can use to access to the information, right? So in C, what we are using is by declaring a pointer in the type of file, and we are going to communicate with that file, right? So this is the example. This is the type file, and this is the pointer. And yeah, we need to use this stdio.text header file in order to use these pointers and all. Right. So our first operation is how to open a particular file. Right. So as I mentioned, there is a function you can use. It's a open, and it's under stdio.h header file. And this is the syntax, right? So this ptr is the pointer right? This ptr will be the pointer to that particular file, and open function. There is two parameters. So first one is the path to that particular file, and this is the mode, right? So these are some of the mode. Here R is for ED and RB. So we'll open the file in binary mode, right? So W is for open for writing, and WB is used for open for writing binary. So there are, I think, several others, right? So this is the code. So this ptr open will return a pointer to the that particular file, and now it is in the main memory, right? Here the content will load to the main memory, and we need to mention the mode. That means are we going to read to that particular file, read that particular file, or write to that particular file, or read in a byte format. So as mentioned here, .in file should be read or write in binary form, right? So you can access easily .txt file using read and write mode. So there are several other modes as well. This A means now you are going to append to a file. That means here you use already existing file in this W, right? So what will happen is if there will be there were no file, that means the file is not existed, then I will create a new file, right? So it will be created. If the file does not exist, it will be created. But if there are files, let's say this all program .txt, this a new program .txt. So let's consider there was a file called new program .txt, and we have opened that particular file in the write mode, W mode, right? Then what will happen is that particular pointer or the marker. So as mentioned now, here this marker will be in the beginning of that particular file. So why we need the marker? To know where we are going to do those operations. Operations are read and write, right? So marker will be in the beginning. So in that case, we are going to override this new program.txt if we open this particular text file in by W or write mode, right? So if we open that particular file in append mode, right? So what will happen is the marker will go to the end of the file, right? So what that means is it's not going to override the content, but it's going to affect the content that we are going to write to the file. So even that, the other thing is if the file does not exist, we'll create a new one, right? So here you're going to override, and also if the file not exists, you're going to create a new one. And here also we're going to append from A, and if the file didn't exist, we'll create a file. So AB means do the same thing but in binary mode. So R plus here is for both reading and writing, and RB plus means in binary format, but for both reading and writing. So you can go through this one. So W plus also both reading and writing, and WP plus A plus and AB plus. And one another thing is, so this mode will be bit different with each programming languages. So as I remember, this is bit different with the Python, right? So now you know how to open a particular file in several modes, right? So next what you need to know is how to close the file. So as I mentioned, you open a particular file, you need to close it. Open right? So that means you can use this close function to close up particular open file, and there you need to pass the pointer. So you need to pass this PTR pointer to close up the function. And for so there are the two functions that are printf and scanf. So you already use this printf and scanf, right? Printf is scanf is also there. මේ දෙකක් ඒ වගේ. මේ printf scan, it do the same thing, but in the version of files, right? Yeah, this sample. So you can see uh, so here, so I can't draw. So this line PTR FPTR equals F open. So here we are going to open the file, right? So it is in write mode. So that means if the file does not exist, then it will be going to create, right? So what is this means? If FPTR equals null, so what that means? This line. So what is this line is about? Anyone? From the Zoom also? The Kevin. කවුරුහරි උත්තර දෙන්න ඕනේ නැත්නම් අපිට තේරුම් නැද්ද මෙච්චර මොකද්ද මෙතනින් කියන්නේ PTR equals null. Okay, I think now, how about now? The voice is clear. Kamindu, please answer this particular question. Why the pointer is will be not what we the reason? So students from the Zoom, you can also put the answer to the chat. Yeah. So please add that section also to the lab sheet, right? So in the lab sheet, there is 10 sections. All right. So this is the 11th part. So I'm not going to update, but you need to answer for this particular question as well. And right, I'm not going to explain this one. So then the printf, that means what is the printf here? are we going to write something to the file? Yeah. So someone asked the not. So here printf means we are going to display something into the terminal. Right? Printf enter a number and scan it. We are scanning that particular number, right? So a printf. So a printf is for what? This line. Like it is will do the same thing as printf. In printf, we write something into the terminal. Here we are going to write this particular number to the file, right? And after writing that file, we are going to close that file. So you can run this particular program, personal computers, and see what will be the answer, right? And search about this one as well, where you are going to get a error as mentioned here. So here is another example. Here what? Here we are creating the pointer. Here we are creating pointer, and now we are trying to open a particular file. So you can use that already created file in the previous slide. This file, right? And now it is in read mode. And here also it is null, right? So that means there is a particular error associated to that file. So you need to find out what are the occasions that will going to get such kind of an null, right? And in this case, we are exiting if the pointer returns null, right? Then here you are use scan to scan the content of the file, and here it will going to display. So where it is going to display? Here is scanning the file, scanning the content. Then what? Right, will show in your terminal. Oh, right, to change the it's called input output. Yeah, there is a way that even after the scan, you can redirect the same stream to another file as well. Right? Actually, I got wrong here. So here, what will happen? We are here passing the pointer to our file, and we are storing that read that number we are scanned from the particular file into this variable, number variable, right? So then here you using the printf, you can we will see that particular value through the terminal, right? So after that, so here after here also, what you can do is you need to close the already open file, right? And so previously we have read and write. That means we use printf and scanf to handle the text files, right? So in order to handle binary files, what we can use is this fread and write. So it will do the same thing, but in binary format. So here about the writing. So you need to use this write to write some binary values. So that particular function, this write function has 4 arguments. So that's the address of the data we written in the disk, right? The second one is size of the data. And the how many number of such type are there and pointer to the file. As mentioned here, address data and the size, the number of data are there, and the pointer. So there is example. So here we are creating this program.bin file, right? So here you need to find out where you're going to get such kind of errors. And so before that, I have declare a structure to store three integer values, n1, n2, n3, right? And here I have initialized it. Not actually initialized. Here the declaration of the pointer, not the pointer, the structure variable. So variable name is num, right? So in this for loop, I'm going to initialize the values to that three numbers n1, n2, n3, right? So this is the structure variable now. So in there we can store three integers. So here the first one will show the using the first one, we can see the iteration or the iteration value n, and the second n2 num.n2 will be the 5 times of that n, and n3 5 times of that n plus 1. So I'm going to store those in binary format, right? So in that case, I'm going to use this write, right? So here we have opened the our file. So if it is not there, it will be created since we have used WB. And through write, so it has 4 arguments. So that is the first one, the address data. So address means our structure. So num, and the size, the next one. So size of the data. So we can use the size of function. So it is in stdlib.h, this function size of. And we have passed the structure, right? 3 num. And then number of such type of data, right? So here only one such data, right? In this FTTR, there will be only one such data, right? And after the fourth argument, we are going to pass this file, right? So in this case, you will write that particular file, and then as I mentioned, for best practices, you need to close the file, right? So please run these scenarios and see what are the outputs, and do some changes to these ones and see what will be changed. right? So next one is reading from a binary file. So it also have 4 arguments. So you need to pass the address and size of the data, numbers, number of data, and pointer to file. So this example as well. So you can see, to read, you are going to read the file, you need to aware what is the file is about, right? So that's why we need to, I have declared the same structure and all. And this that file, right? And from here, in each iteration, I am going to load those function using a read, and read and through here. So you can see here that this num is for uh, this this one. So the variable or the structure that I declared, so I'm going to pass it to the first argument. So then we can store that value. So here as the first argument, I'm passing the our structure that is declared and the size of the structure and how much number of such data. So that number. So currently it is only one such data and the pointer to our file, right? So after run this file, contain the information. And from this we can print the rows relevant information, and after that we can close, right? So here you can see this program will loop through each record in this through this for loop. And right, so this will won't ask for your uh, exams, but it's also a nice function, fseek. So as mentioned here, so if you have so many number of records and you need to access to a specific file, so that means you need to loop through. So as mentioned in this example, you need to loop through to get the relevant information, right? So it is some kind of a time and loss of memory, time wasting, and the same time memory wasting as. So fseek will give you some availability to freely access those only the relevant information, right? So how you can do this one. So here we are sending the file while in string and offset and the where you need to access. So when, so there are several things. That means the start of the offset from beginning of the file, and the sequence is when the seek or the cursor. So it will the start of the offset from the current location the cursor. So through fseek, you can use the cursor as mentioned here to get your relevant information. Right. So this is such example. So here also we have used the same structure that we already defined, and this is the pointer to the file. So from here, so move the cursor to the end of the file. So through F6, so we are passing the pointer and the size, the structure, the sequence. Right. So now the cursor is at the end, very end. So as mentioned here, so this code will going to read that particular file from the very end. Right. So right. So here we are going to the very end, and from here we are going to the uh, beginning of that particular file. Right. So finally we are going to close that particular file. Right. So yeah, FC will not going to ask for your exams, but you need to know about how to use this uh, FRead and FWrite and this FScanF, FPrintF, right? And even after when you are coding, you must, if you are open a file, you must close such open file. So it will be thoroughly examined in through your codes. So you need to keep aware of that, right? So you need to understand about these ones modes of how to do those standard input and output operations, right? And these ones, and now on the file, right? Right. So right. So that will be the end of this tutorial session. Let's see. So this is the lab sheet as about the file handling, right? So there are several tasks we've done. So the 11 sections, as I mentioned, uh, about the null pointer, right? So you need to answer where does that error will happen and what are the reasons. So if you put some examples where such occasions happen, some screenshots, so then it will be very good for your knowledge as right. So do you have any questions? So students from the Zoom, do you have any questions? So as I mentioned, I have uploaded the CSO like final cute. In there, I have discussed uh, the SR flip flop again, and after that JK flip flop and binary counter and D flip flop and the memory, how the memory is created using both those combinational circuits and sequential circuits. So are there anything I need to explain it again? No? Below the video, below. So please watch that video. So never know the Dr. Lochandaka will prepare the paper for CSO and Professor Noel will prepare the programming exam and I will prepare the practical exam. And do we have any questions for them more? Or then we can wind up the session. So please do this lab sheet. So if you have any questions, you can email me. Right, I think then questions. උත්පන අද ඉතින් අන්තිම දවස්. Okay, we can wind up the session. So thank you for coming.